welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Cassie, also known as KnittaCass. This is my YouTube channel where I talk about all the things that I am making, mostly knitting, sometimes crochet, patterns I'm drooling over, books I'm reading, a little bit about some family life, and a spice of mental health. So go ahead and grab a beverage, a project to work on, and let's do some chatting. I today do not have anything to drink. I'm a little bit nauseous right now. So I've just been sipping on some water and it's actually across the room. I do have some finished objects to start with today. They are 2 socks. One is this vanilla pair of socks and it's a really fun colorway. Kind of reminds me of the sea. I cast this on for Sock Week, which is a make along by Knitty Natty, and it is a challenge to knit 1 adult sock in essentially 8 days. And so I cast this one on because it reminds me of the beach, and Sock Week is a play on Shark Week. It is by Trilogy Yarn and the colorway is Glamorous. It's from an Alice in Wonderland Advent. And I just did a basic vanilla with a heel flap and gusset on size 1.5 needles and 64 stitch count. And I have this cute little progress marker here. This is from The Littlest Charm Co. And it was a sponsored product for Sock Week. And I finished this second sock when I was on vacation. I think all in all I finished this pair in 10 days, which is pretty quick for me. And then my second pair of socks is in this fun colorway. And it is called Vanilla is the New Black. And that's by Anna Tanae. I'll write it down below. I didn't write that down on my show notes, so I apologize about that. But it's got this really nice heel here, so you don't have to do any gusset stitches. You increase for the heel as you're knitting, and then you do some decreasing when you're doing your heel flap. And that's really fun, and it was really intuitive once you got going. It's a really cute design here. And I had knit up into this football before I went on vacation, and then finished this much on vacation. And then this one, I think I was in the middle of the heel flap. And I finished the heel flap and knit just a little bit here, and then finished the rest when I got home. And this is in a Yarnable. It's a really pretty colorway. It kind of reminds me of like a sunset. The colorway is guava macaroon creme, or creme macaroon. And so I do plan on knitting this pattern again. I really enjoyed the heel. I did have some trouble. I think I messed up my stitch count because I do have a little hole that I'm gonna have to fix. But I only had it on the 1 sock, and I think I must have missed a stitch count. I was distracted and watching TV while I was doing it. So I think the next time I make it, I won't have that issue. But I do look forward to making another Vanilla is the New Black pair of socks. I had those hiding in this bag. This is by World on a String, and this was a sponsored product for Sock Week. And then I also was using this Notion pouch, and this is by the Wandering Pearl, and this was a sponsored product for Sock Week. And then I only have 3 whips, so I was getting some stuff done on vacation, which is pretty exciting. One whip I haven't worked on at all. This is a crochet blanket, and it's called Cozy Stripey Blanket by Addict24. It is the only crochet project that I have on the needles right now. It is using this yarn, so it's using mandala yarn, so it's changing color and keeping it pretty interesting. I'm new to crochet, so I have to be able to do it when I'm either listening to a book or watching something on TV that I don't actually have to focus on, because I do have to really look at my stitches. I can't get a feel for them yet. But there's nothing to show, so I won't show that. And then my newest whip is this whip here. This is a self-striping sock, and it's knitted vanilla. 64 stitch count with heel flap and gusset. I'm in the gusset right now. And it's in this really fun yarn. It's Knit Picks Felici, and the colorway is Bonfire, which of course I had to cast it on because bonfire is summer, 'tis the season. It does kind of look like fall colors though, so it's kind of like a 2-for-1. I did put a pop of color here from a mini that I got either from Trilogy Yarn or from Fiber MacGyver, because I have my yarn kind of mixed in here, my minis, and I don't know which one it came from. And then I did that contrasting heel as well. And so I'm in the gussets. I'm having a lot of fun with this. And my 2 little stitch markers are a llama and a hammerhead shark, both by Wee Ones. She makes polymer clay sets. I really love her sets. She does sets of 4. She is starting to mix up her algorithm, but typically she does sets of 4 and 3 are the same and 1 is like an oddball. And so this one had 4 sharks and 3 were like what you would call like a regular shark, and then the oddball was the hammerhead. And then my longest whip, is it longer than the blanket? It's kind of, I'm not sure if it's longer than the blanket because I can't remember when I started the blanket, but I started this project, last October while I was at Rhinebeck in our Airbnb. This is the Starflake. It's a shawl by Stephen West. Excuse me, sorry about that. Fun fact, in case you hear me hiccup during my podcast, I get hiccups every day. Sometimes it's 1 hiccup, sometimes it's a cluster of hiccups, sometimes it's a couple times a day. Today, there's quite a bit, and I think it's just because I'm nauseous. I think my stomach's just all upset. So it starts out with this really fun star shape, and then you do some garter ridging, and then you do some brioche, which had increases and decreases, which was a lot of fun. It taught me a lot of things. And it's kind of making like triangle wedges, sort of. They're not called wedges, but the shape does look like kind of like a spider web in that it has like narrow wedge-like shapes. And then I finally, so I've been in that brioche section for so long. If you've been following me, you know that I've been working on it for so long. You're probably sick of me talking about it, but a couple days ago, I got to a new section. I'm very excited. I did bring this on vacation, so I was able to knit quite a lot, and I think that's how I got off the brioche. And then I am now on this section here. So this is all the brioche, and now I'm at this section that's making like an actual wedge, so it's going in a different direction. It's really fun, so I'm enjoying that. But look how fun this is together. I just love how like creative he is in things don't have to be linear, and you can come at things from different angles and go different ways, and the way he plays with stitches, like none of these stitches are difficult, but it looks like an optical illusion almost, like it looks like magic. So really enjoying that. I think I'm on section 7 or 8 of 9. But of course, if you know Stephen West, the sections are very long because there's a lot of repetition. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so since I only have 3 whips and it's getting to be fall and Rhinebeck season, I am ready to cast on my newest project, and it is going to be a Rhinebeck sweater. Now I've gone back and forth. I've actually kind of hesitated. I usually have my Rhinebeck sweater ready, but I've just emotionally not wanted to go to Rhinebeck and decided just recently that I am definitely going to go this year. And so I am on a hunt for this sweater, and everyone is talking about the Rhinebeck sweaters. And so I've had a lot of inspiration. I was going to knit a sweater that had like a really fascinating yoke here. And in the pictures in the pattern, it did show it as a short sleeve. And I thought, oh, because I'm time limited, I could do this pattern and just do it in the short sleeve. But then I was like, it might not be hot, it might be cold, and I might go for 2 days, so I might need 2 garments. That's a little ambitious. I probably won't do 2 garments. But the other night during our Zoom, somebody mentioned the Tula or Tulula. I think it's Tula sweater, Tuula. And this is by Knit Sisu. And I'll put a picture up here. It's really nice. It's like a raglan sweater, very simple neckline, vanilla knitting, DK weight, and then the sleeves are like very standardized lace. And I think it's just simple, but also interesting enough to keep my interest and stand out a little. So I'm not just a vanilla sweater at Rhinebeck. And I ordered the Gothic Red yarn by Yarn Cafe Creations. I'll put a picture too. I think it's stunning. I think it's going to be an absolute amazing sweater. So I ordered the yarn today. So I have to wait for it to arrive and then do a gauge swatch, and then hopefully I can cast on. And I'm hoping, because most of the pattern is just vanilla knitting in DK weight, that I can get it done on time. So send me all the positive vibes and all the energy, because I really need to get this sweater done. So that's that. And then I used to talk about the segment called SCO, which is should have cast on already, and I haven't touched on that segment a lot, but in the category, it would be the staple linen top. I'll put a picture here by Hoagie Locatelli. It's a nice like sleeveless top. It's got a little bit of design so that it's not just vanilla, but it's very classic, not simplistic, but like a classic appearance. And I was gonna knit it for a summer top, but I just haven't. I haven't ordered the yarn. I haven't done anything for it. So that might live as a SCO for a little while, since the sweater is now going to take priority. So maybe I'll have a sleeveless t-shirt over the winter, or maybe I'll just save it for spring. I don't know. I only have one acquisition, and this is my Yarnable. And so I'll show you the yarn first. This is called All Your Eggs in One Basket. It's the August 2025 colorway on their plush sock, 85/15 superwash merino nylon. And it's got this like very classic, I wouldn't call it brown, some might call it brown, but it looks more like taupe in person, with kind of some pastel-y hues. It's really hard to get an accurate picture on this video, but it's very subtle, and I can't decide if I really like it or if I'm going to pass it on to somebody else. It's not really in my color palette, but something about it makes me think about it when I look at it. It kind of makes me consider using it, so I'm not sure. But the goodies come in this bag. I have a bunch of them in here. I use them as notion pouches. And there's this cute little chicken that's knitting. The theme, I think, is about yarn chickens. And it's got these chicken needle stoppers. Oh, I should put this on my Starflake, might make it a little more interesting. I don't know about you, but if a project has been lingering for a little while and I'm not necessarily drawn to it, sometimes if I mix up the progress keepers or the needle stoppers or stitch markers or something, it makes it feel a little new again. So I'm gonna put this on my Starflake, and I'm gonna do it right now so I don't forget. And I should move my progress. I should show you my progress and move my progress keeper. All right, let me put this on. Sorry about the crinkling. Oh, look, that's so cute. Okay. That is wicked cute. So I should show you my progress, because I've been doing that for you guys. So before I went on vacation, my progress was here, and I started this wedge the other day. So from this progress keeper to this wedge I did on vacation, it doesn't look like a lot, but it was hours. And this is last year's Rhinebeck exclusive from the Wee Ones. It's a cat with a sweater that's not quite finished. It's so cute. So let's move that forward. All right, that's been moved ahead. Got my cute little chickens. And I'll show you the last goodie for the Yarnable is Yarn Chicken Champion, which I just love. I'm not usually good at yarn chicken, so I wouldn't say I'm a champion, but it's super cute. Let's see. So, family life. We went on a week-long vacation recently, and we went and rented an Airbnb right on the pond. I keep saying lake, but it was a pond. And so we had access to swimming and fishing and boating. When I say boating, I mean kayaking. So they had some kayaks you could use and some life jackets. So we went kayaking a lot. We did a lot of fishing, did a lot of swimming, and I did a lot of knitting and a lot of reading. I read 2 full books while I was on vacation, which was pretty exciting. I got a lot of sun. I know I don't look it. I can tan all I want, and I get sunburnt, and then I get like a smidgen of a tan, but I still look very, very white with a tan. So like I look white, but if you were to like move to my tan line, I'm actually quite darker than my normal skin. I'm just a very white person. Let's see. What else did we do? We rented a boat for a day, and we had my husband's side of the family over, and so we were on a boat for a few hours, I think like 5 hours maybe, and we did some swimming off the boat and some fishing off the boat and just some riding around, which was really fun. And we had to use a topographical map because parts of the pond were quite narrow, so that was kind of cool. I haven't had to use that skill since high school, I think. Let's see, and yeah, and then we had like a kind of a cookout with them, and it was really great to be able to stay up late and sleep in late and just not have any time constraints and just really enjoy the day with the family. And Wyatt, he's my 17-year-old. He works like crazy. I'm sorry if you hear the lawnmower. I think my father-in-law is mowing the lawn, and he doesn't know that I'm podcasting. Okay, he went a little bit further away, so you still might hear it, but it won't be as bad. He got like right up next to the window where I'm podcasting. Okay, so what was I saying? Oh, so Wyatt is my 17-year-old, and he's been working like a dog and like never really takes time off. Like we went to Maine last month or the month before, and he didn't want to take time off to go with us. So he took the whole week off, so it was the whole family, and it was just awesome. And Wyatt is going to be a senior this year, and he's going to the Tech Center for Culinary Arts. And Weston's going to be a 7th grader, so very exciting, very new ages, kind of crazy. Let's see what else is going. I got to see my daughter yesterday. I haven't seen my daughter in months and months and months, so it was really nice to see her. She looks very happy and healthy, and she was telling me about everything that she's doing, and I'm just really proud of where she's at in her life. So that was really exciting. I couldn't hug her enough. I missed her so much. Yeah, that's about it with life. It's been pretty busy, but good busy. It's been a wonderful summer. It's been beautiful weather, and we've just been able to enjoy it more often than I think we were able to enjoy it last year. Okay, so books. I've been neglecting this segment quite a bit, so I'm not sure if I talked about this book, but I read Red Rising by Pierce Brown with my sister Katrina, and I was really into it, and then there was a lot that I wasn't into it, and then I got into it, and then I got out of it, and so me and this book did not get along. And it got to the point where my sister finished it, told me it was really good, and I was like, okay, well, I have to finish it. So I went for a couple hours into my in-laws' pool and sat in a little like floaty and forced myself to finish it, and it did end really, really good. It did have a couple of twists that you weren't expecting. I wouldn't give it a great star rating, maybe like a 2.5, just because there was so much in the middle that either could have been spiced up or left out. So I feel like the middle was just a wicked drag. But we had a really good discussion, me and my sister, so that it was worth it. I loved it. I also read Too Late by Colleen Hoover. I was going to bring this on vacation. I started it the week before vacation and I finished it in like 4 days. It's really good. It's about this girl who's stuck in a bad situation and she's staying in the situation to help provide care for her brother, and is starting to get unsafe. And then there's, because the guy she's staying with is doing some drugs, and then she meets an FBI agent and she doesn't know he's an FBI agent, and there's some sparks flying, and then the two, like, the stories collide, and it gets very, very suspenseful. And it falls like a typical Colleen Hoover book. Like, it flows nice, you're interested, but the ending surprised me so much. Like, I would probably give this a 4.5. I'm really stingy about my 5s. So I did not see the twist coming. There was 2 twists, and the one at the end, you were like, oh my God, what? So if you want something that's gonna keep your attention and then make you think like, what the heck did I just read? I suggest Too Late by Colleen Hoover. I also read One Dark Window. My sister gave this book to me, and it was very fascinating, really intriguing. It's about, let's see if I can do this without telling you what it's about. So, Elspeth, I'll just read it. Spindle needs more than luck to stay safe in the eerie, mist-locked kingdom of Blunder. She needs a monster. She calls him the Nightmare, an ancient mercurial spirit trapped in her head. He protects her, he keeps her secrets. But nothing comes for free, especially magic. When Elspeth meets a mysterious highwayman on the forest road, her life takes a drastic turn. Thrust into a world of shadow and deception, she joins a dangerous quest to cure Blunder of the dark magic infecting it. Except the highwayman just happens to be the king's nephew, captain of the most dangerous men in Blunder, and guilty of high treason. Really, really good. There is a part in here where I needed a visual, but there is a visual on Instagram. So if you're reading this book and you're having a hard time keeping track of the cards, look them up on Instagram, and a couple of people have made like a little cheat sheet. Very helpful. I downloaded the sequel, which is Two Twisted Crowns. So I'd probably give this one a 4 as well. So I downloaded the sequel, which is Two Twisted Crowns, but I have not started yet. And I heard the second one's better than the first, so that's exciting. And I'm currently reading this book. I got it not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before at Books A Million on the discount shelf, and it's called Foul Lady Fortune. It is about communism versus nationalists and the factions and how it's splitting family, but that's kind of the side story. The main story is that there are agents for the communists, like spy agents, and spy agents for the nationalists, and there's a lot of double agents, so it was a little hard to keep track of who was who, but like most importantly what their actual belief system was versus based on whether it was communist or nationalist. So it's been kind of dry and kind of difficult to get into. The first 2 chapters were amazing, and I'm about halfway through it, and it's starting to get pretty exciting. So I'm hoping that it stays exciting and ends pretty good. I do want to show you, this is really cool. So I have been on the TikTok, and there is some people who are selling like book and journaling mystery bundles. And so I signed up for a mystery bundle, and a couple of things came in that were like bookmarks and pens and stickers and such. And one of the things was this bookmark. It's leather, and it just slips right onto your page. It's got a cat. It's really fun. I'm really enjoying it. I also got one that looks like a library card, one that is like a velvet on a chain with or like a chain of velvet. I don't know if that's a strip of velvet, and it has a star at the end of it, so that's pretty fun. Yeah, I got quite a few things in that. That was pretty fun. But I am currently reading My Friends by Frederick Bachman. Whew, guys, I haven't finished it. I'm about a quarter of the way in it, on chapter like 3 or 4, I was bawling my eyes out. It's like sad in a beautiful way, and I don't know how to explain it, but I am hooked. I can't stop reading it. The connections that they're making, the things they're talking about, there's like so many things I want to highlight. Me and my sister are reading it for our book club, and there's so many things I'm writing down that I want to talk to her about, or things that are sticking out. Like, it's not like normal reading. It's like so much stuff you want to carry forward with you. You want to take away from the book. Really, really well done. I am really enjoying it. I have seen a couple of people on TikTok talking about it and talking about how it made them cry a lot. So it's probably a book that's going to wreck me and my sister. So I feel kind of bad for my sister. But I'm looking forward to just loving the story and finishing it. Let's see. So I'm reading My Friends, I'm reading Lady Foul Fortune, and I'm listening to the Amalfi Curse. It's taken me a little while to finish it. I was listening to a Audible by Matthew McConaughey, and it was called Green Lights, and it was autobiography. So I started listening to that and put Amalfi Curse aside. But now I'm reading the Amalfi Curse again, or listening to it, and it's really, really good. I'm really enjoying the story. It's about some powerful women, and like in the past, and then also a woman who is a marine archaeologist, and she's trying to search for some treasure. And it seems like the stories are going to collide, and then there's something about a curse. So it hasn't all unfolded yet, but it is intriguing, and I am enjoying it. Yeah, so that's it. So we get to my favorite part of the segment, which is a spice of mental health. So this is a segment where I tell you something to do, or give you a quote or something to think about to help fill your cup or make you feel better about yourself. And so today's is to make a to-done list, not a to-do list, a to-done list. So I know for me and for several people that when you have a list of things you have to do, it can seem pretty daunting. However, when you have a list of things you can do and you get to check them off or cross them off, you feel really great. So instead of focusing, you can still make a to-do list, but instead of focusing just on the things you have on your list, it would be helpful to write everything down that you did. Kind of like, I made my bed today, check. I brushed my teeth today, check. Because having those check marks boosts your mentality and makes you feel successful and boosts the endorphins. And then also, like, seeing all these check marks or all these cross marks, you'll just be so proud of yourself all day long. So make a to-done list and tell me down below if you did it and if it made your day just feel so much more magical and if you felt really great about yourself. I just wanted to say before I finish that if you're a new viewer and you're here and you're checking me out, I hope you enjoyed. And if you would like to, please like, subscribe, and share. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your love and support. And with that, I wish you happy making. Until next time, bye.